what are you focused on as what is important to you? Because obviously you do what you do on a high level on day to day, but what, like, when you look at what's going on the internet, what are you like, damn? Like you just start drooling the fact that these things are now kind of circulating. What are you getting your hands dirty with nowadays?
Yeah, it's interesting because things are changing so quickly. We're seeing the emergence of AR and VR. And, it's been around for a little bit, but I think it's really starting to grow. And I have a feeling over the next few years, it's going to explode as companies like Apple and Meta and Google possibly. I mean, remember, Google came out with the Google Glass years and years and years ago. And I think those sorts of things are necessary for the industry to start evolving. I would probably consider the Google Glass a failure back then, but you have to have these failures in order to eventually succeed. Because I would imagine the introduction of Google Glass, even though it was so far ago, it probably sparked conversations internally at other companies like Meta, or I guess Facebook at the time, and Apple. And these sorts of things have to happen. Look at Samsung's flip phone, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
the Motorola phone, the Razr from back in the day, that's obviously, that exists. But Samsung tried to do something similar, and the first one completely failed. But the next one, a little bit better. The next one, a little bit better. I think I have the newest one, and it's decent, right? So all these sorts of things have to happen. These failures have to happen in order to get to the success. And I think we're almost at that success phase where we're going to see Apple introduce a really sleek looking AR headset. And I think that's going to really, when things are going to start exploding. And even though we're not at that phase just yet, I think we as designers and product managers and engineers and everyone in the field has to prepare for that. We have to start kind of exploring what AR experiences could look like. And some of the technology is there. Meta has their headsets, and there's, HTC Vives and all these sorts of things. But
Right.
we have to really start thinking about that sphere. And, I haven't dove too far into it yet, but I've been thinking a lot about it because I want to be ready when that time comes to start designing experiences for AR. And I think AR is going to be a little bit more interesting and maybe challenging to design than
Right.
VR. Because with VR, you're putting on this headset and you're essentially immersed in this 3D world. Maybe, sometimes it could be 2D, but it's mostly a 3D world. But AR, you're blending almost that with reality. So you have to keep in mind that there are going to be challenges with that because people are going to be walking down the street wearing glasses. You don't want to obstruct their vision too much. You want to make sure the right information is fed to them at the right times. It's going to be interesting. So AR and VR is definitely something I have my pulse on. And then AI, that just kind of came out of nowhere. Obviously, again, it's been around for a little bit, but it feels like the last few months, it just went exploded all over the place. And I don't think anyone really has any idea what the heck is going on with this thing. There are artists who are terrified. There are artists who are excited. There are regular people who have no idea what this AI stuff is, what it means, where it's going, how it came to be. I don't even know. I don't know what's happening right now. And it seems like, I mentioned this during the Twitter space. It seems like every week it's getting better, like exponentially better than it was the week before, which is also terrifying. So I think we have to figure out how this plays into our lives because it's not going away. It's as we've
put
seen,
the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, it's getting better and better every week. And now we have things like Stable Diffusion, which you can literally download the model locally on your computer. So even if like Midjourney and Dolly gets shut down overnight, Stable Diffusion is local. So yeah, it's not going away. So we have to figure out how to, one, protect artists that are currently living and trying to earn a living. I think that's very important. But also, how do we incorporate this AI technology into our day-to-day lives and benefit from it? Because, there might be a time where AI, in some cases, takes over our jobs. And I think that's just the reality of humanity. It might not be in 5 years from now. It might be 20 or 30. Who knows? I mean, things just, as we've seen over the last few months, it could just take a wild ride and just overnight we're just doomed.
2 years.
Yeah, you never know. But we have to kind of prepare for that. And in the meantime, figure out how to work with the AI, as weird as that sounds, to do better work.
I hope you guys liked this episode. If you did, you can find more build from scratch website tutorials with me right here, or you can find more Editor X tips and tricks in this playlist over here. With that said, I hope to see you guys in another video. And of course, if you liked this episode and what we're doing here on this channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.